Boys and girls, Jenny, how are we? It's a really good trading environment. This is probably the best trading that we've seen this year in terms of movement. So you've really got to be a part of it if you want to, experience all the aspects of trading. Now, the main thing that you should be looking to do is to be following the trends. Don't try and fade these trends. You want to be, as the drama unfolds, sticking to short positions, only really cutting when the situation on the ground changes. So, this story probably has legs for at least a week, and over the weekend there will be some danger. So tomorrow maybe you want to close out into the weekend, because weekend press can be very important in political based stories, and that's what this is. But the essence of why this is such a big story, and yesterday as the market was selling off, we're going on to this a little bit, is that if Trump is get caught up in a scandal and a potential impeachment, then his agenda, which is his tax plan and infrastructure plan, won't be able to get passed. Therefore, the stock market should, in theory, take out that premium, right, that the market's been pricing in on the back of him getting through his agenda. And that premium, by some accounts, is 2,000 to 4,000 pips in the Dow. Right, so 2,000 to 4,000 pips is a potential downside we have here if he's impeached and kicked out. Now that's serious sell-off from these levels. So he's done 500 so far. So it's got a significant distance to go. And the way the market's correlated, that's extreme dollar-yen weakness back towards 105, even 100. And with the euro, it's going to support just broadly in general on dips. But you've got to be careful you don't get caught up in in a sharp sort of euro yen sell-off. Like right now, there's some sharp euro selling going on. It's breaking through some previous supports, and that's putting some pressure on the major. But we should be looking at opportunities to buy the euro on dips. That's definitely still the game plan. So I'll be looking at 111 or 110.70, having a go. The other big story, pound broke above 130. Now this is on the back of what was the story there? The retail sales. Sorry. Now it has to be careful as well, because the pound yen selling can pull it back down. That would look pretty weak if it was to fall back down. So I'm not chasing above 130, not in this current environment. But definitely in regards to the major anyway, it's set it up nice if it can hold above this level to extend. And the data has been pretty strong out of the UK, so that's where, if you're watching, say, the pound yen, making it a little bit trickier to play, but we could see the sellers come in, overwhelm. If they overwhelm, then the pound gets pulled back below 130, it will look weak, and if the dollar yen selling is intensifying towards 110, even breaks 110, then the pound yen could flip down and go sharply lower. So it's already moved a lot, but it can move a lot more. It's a pretty quick one when it sells off. Aussie yen's taking a belting, Kiwi yen's taking a belting, and Kiwi can't catch a break here, because this is coming at a time when it should be really strong given its local data, just it's been capped by that. Aussie had some strong local data as well. Now it's in the same boat, right? You can't expect the Aussie to do really well in a market which is risk off. So it's hard for it could be easily above 75 without, on the back of that employment data, without this Aussie yen selling that's coming through quite sharply. So how do you play this? Yeah, you don't try to be too smart about what you're doing in terms of like trying to pick bottoms in euro yen or pound yen or dollar yen even. It's going to be asking for trouble. Look, I'm not going to stop you trying to buy down dollar yen at 100, right? 110, sorry, is a nice level, and it might hold and it might pop up. But you should be looking at scalps of 30 to 40 points until the situation changes. You can't expect a sustained rally. Just a sustained even short squeeze, right? You shouldn't expect too much. Now gold's, it's just one-way action, so gold's the cleanest way of playing this market. It bounced off 12.55. If you had the sort of the patience to wait for this pullback today, you're rewarded, because everyone was trying to buy at 12.55. Looks like it's held quite nicely now with the dollar yen making new lows. This is probably a little underpriced, and should be making that next leg higher soon. We should expect to see 1280 hit if the market wants to continue in the same frame of mind, which it looks like it's doing. So no reason to be at all expecting this to reverse and stop. This is a story which was likely to get worse before it gets better. And it's not so much whether they can impeach Poto. It's not about that. It's about whether it derails his investment first, his whole agenda first, and then the market being caught long and everyone trying to exit at once, and the panic and the fear which comes in those sorts of events. We've been here before, right? It's not our first rodeo, is it? You and me have been in this room when there's been a lot of sell-offs, and it can definitely get more aggressive, and the first day, while it's a doozy, is probably just the beginning. Alright, so where's his support here? Come 1240, 12400. So below 12400, probably going to target 20,000. 20,000 might give it a little bit of without some extra information about how it's going to proceed, or Trump hasn't even responded yet. This is the interesting part. He's been extremely quiet. Hasn't been on Twitter for 16 hours as this whole thing's been going down. So, we're waiting to see how he's going to respond to this. He might come out all guns blazing and try to get things sorted. But you don't want to stand in the way of this. Not here. You're not here. We can talk about it next week, potentially being oversold or being, the market overreacting. But not yet. Hasn't even reacted. So This I just wanted to drill that into you as traders. If this is maybe for some of you, it could be the first time you've seen really crazy moves, and you could be looking at dollar and going, well, this is really cheap. This is a 20% chance of being the bottom sort of scenario, and I don't want to get you your natural instincts as traders to come in and see what's moved. And there's this thing in our brains called recency bias, where if it drops 400 points it looks cheap. It should look weak. Yeah, it was cheap if it was just a gradual pullback towards 112. This sort of heavy selling in one day is weakness. There's a really big distinction between the two. So yeah, that's my opening rant. Exciting times. It's a great market to be involved in. Hopefully we can all make a lot of money. Now, the trades we're doing yesterday, we were selling Aussie Kiwi. Now, the reason why we're selling Aussie Kiwi is because Aussie Kiwi has a relationship with stock market weakness, and it worked out until the Aussie had some really strong data. Now it's a little more mixed. I'm probably going to close it out here, but I think it's an even battle today. I don't expect the stocks to fall as sharply as yesterday, and that's what's necessary really to get payoff. But I'm going to let the dollar yen that we sold at the end of yesterday's stream, as it started to roll down, we're going to put our stop to entry on this trade. So this shouldn't get stopped without a change in news. And if we can get that to break 110, we can talk about that low from the previous sell-off around about 108.40, 50. That's where we're going to put our take profit, actually. 108.50. That's a good take profit. Potential levels that you can look at buying off is that 108.50, bit better than the 110 if it gets down there tonight, and then at 105 is a really big level from back in the day that a sell-off would target. Okay, and that would be maybe where we can think about making some sort of support. It's down here at 105, but really, if it's on a correction and stock market selling, then 100 will open the door. So we'll put these in now so we can have them in our minds if the shit really hits the fan. So let's have a look at there's that feedback loop that we talked about yesterday. If this starts to get more aggressive, so 2 or 3 days of selling like this, then the Fed's not raising rates in June. It has to. It's very, very sensitive to market instability, and you don't want to add fuel on the fire by raising rates in the middle of a stock market sell-off. But yeah, geez, you can make more money in a couple of weeks in this sort of market than you can in many months in a normal market. So this is really where you live for as a trader. So don't shy away from it, but if it's the first time you're trading it, trade half the normal size, at least half the normal size. Less is more in this market. Okay, you don't want to get caught in reversals and be too heavy, stuck in one trade or not. And so be with the trend, but you don't have to go full size every time, because 100 pips is not 100 pips anymore. Yeah, we'll make money after selling. This is so great about a crash. You'll make money on the sell, and then later, maybe next week or the week after, we'll make money on the reversal. And that's just, it's where there's so much opportunity when there's so much movement. Let's have a little look here at early morning read. Really interested to see Jim Reed's take on this. See how he's playing through what's happening. I mean, but to be fair, no analyst knows what's going to happen here. I mean, apart from it's obviously negative. You know, when I'm talking about 105 on the dollar yen, you know, I mean, these are just previous levels from back in the day. Yeah, and how we haven't seen anything yet. Haven't seen the pushback, right? There will be political pushback coming from the White House and the Republicans. You know, perhaps if all the Republicans can get behind Trump, and that's what didn't happen and should have happened, you'd think immediately yesterday, that's where you get the market to sort of settle down and have a nice reversal. But I doubt that's going to happen today. It might be over the weekend. Timing wise, makes more sense. I have learned big lessons. Last market big crash, I got cleaned out, Tony, Jenny. And that was, I was in trades, didn't want to be in, and then I tried to play out, tried to hedge out. That didn't work out well. That was in China, devalued in early 2015. Things can get out of control really quickly if you try to buy this stuff. But, you know, 2008, similar, 2011, 2012 had also sharp pullbacks. Taper tantrum was another huge move. I wish I had known what I know now, even just 2 years ago, in terms of how to handle sell-offs. Definitely in 2008, I wish I could go back in time to 2008. Wow. Too much of an optimist. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, it is usually. Lehman Brothers was a big shock to me. I was like, well, there's no way they're gonna let a bank fail. White House has denied Communist change event in an email statement. So email is not what we want to hear. We want to hear him speak. He's never asked Mr. Comley or anyone else. I mean, you might get a press conference today by Trump. You'd think he would soon. But House Speaker really, could have given a stronger support. Trump was doing a speech where he said that no one's ever been treated worse than him. That was hilarious. There was that Al Green who gave the call for the impeachment. You all see that? Catch that?
Mr. Speaker, I rise today with a heavy heart. I rise today with a sense of responsibility and duty to the people who have elected me, a sense of duty to this country, a sense of duty to the Constitution of the United States of America. I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America for obstruction of justice. I do not do this for political purposes, Mr. Speaker. I do this because I believe in the great ideals that this country stands for. Liberty and justice for all. The notion that we should have government of the people, by the people, for the people. I do it because, Mr. Speaker, there is a belief in this country that no one is above the law, and that includes the president of the United States of America. Mr. Speaker, our democracy is at risk.
Giving a little bit of a I have a dream speech there. Yeah, so let's see how this develops, guys. I mean, I'm very bearish and very dovish, and I'm looking to sell, keep on selling. But look, I am open to announcements, right? I mean, if he calls a press conference today, we've got to see how he comes across. He could do more damage than good if he does speak, right? He's definitely lost control of the narrative around it. You know, I hope he doesn't do something crazy like start bombing somewhere to distract. I mean, he's on traveling, right? He's traveling at the moment. He's going on his first overseas trip, I think, like a big tour of Europe and Middle East. But surely there'll be some place he can make a stand. So that was the biggest sell-off since September last year. Sorry, yeah, September 9th last year. Financials, which were going to gain from, you know, the Fed raising rates and the deregulation, you know, also it was sold off aggressively. The VIX jumped something like 30% on the one I was watching, but 46% on the VIX. The VXX jumped about 30%. Alright, the 10 years dropped to 2.2. Remember, 2.3 was where we were at just a couple of days ago, above 2.3. Odds of the June Fed rate hike dropped down to 58. Well, that's a huge decline. But they seem to be back up at 82, so, you know, that falling away is where you can get even more US dollar weakness in coming days. And that's the most sensitive to that is dollar yen. In terms of our main trade that we've been doing for the last month or so, long euro, if we do get into, you know, euro, you just gotta be careful, right? He is speaking not in terms of our time. From right now, it is at 1. So I'll tell you how far away it is from us here in Sydney. Draghi speaking at 3 AM our time, so we've still got another 7.5 hours. But that's really going to be, you know, a potential time for him to throw cold water on this ECB action expectation that's building for June. There was an ECB speaker out this morning that was on point with this, talking about tapering is coming. Nawanti, I believe. I would have to find it. No, Vasilikis. So I think he's confirming that June's going to be a big event as well. This is June 8th, same day as the UK election. And UK May's in a debate today. She's probably going to murder someone, right? I mean, she seems very capable of speaking, doesn't she? So I don't think she's going to fail in a debate against Corbyn. So little to be worried about with the pound, apart from the pound yen. But this is looking ugly again. Dollar yen's, you know, trying to make its move down. Just watch what happens though at 110, right? That's not a small level. That's a pretty big one. That's the level that the dollar gapped above when we had that nice result from France. I thought it's probably a good time that we do check on the daily charts as well, because we haven't checked technicals for a while. And in an environment like this, some of those big levels from far away need to be checked. So let me see if I can find that for you. Euro Swiss must be looking dreadful. Let's have a little look at that. Not dreadful, but you know, it must be, it has to be under 110, right? It must have failed. Yeah. At some point we will, if this sells off aggressively, this might be the way of us getting back into our risk on trade with a little bit more safety. If we get down towards 124, pound Swiss is not a bad way of getting into the market. Got that protection just from being with the pound. Euro pound has made a move towards that 86 level, which is the level that we sort of start to look to sell. And in terms of the price action right now, geez, that's, should have looked at that. Should have looked at that. I've been focused on the dollar yen and the stock market, but yeah, we should have. That was an opportunity there. All right, let's have a look here. Dollar yen 200-day moving average is 109.70, so keep that in your mind. $86 is the 200 on the euro pound as well. Euro's really kicked away now from the resistances, from the moving averages. Sorry. Euro yen's making huge gains above its 200. Aussie dollar really responds to its 200, so if somehow we get above 75 or 75 test, 75 is a big level for the Aussie. So 75, a little break above it, a little squeeze above it, I'd probably be looking to fade that. The underlying fundamentals are pretty bad going forward. I don't think that's going to be an easy move though, towards that level. And dollar CAD, you can't get down there. So let's on the Dow though, or S&P 21. Jesus Christ, that's still 200 pips away. That's still 10% away. All right. So we still got a lot of room here to the downside in stocks. DAX as well, coming off all-time highs. has a lot of room to move in a clean out. DAX is a favorite for the market to get crushed too. So it hasn't even done anything yet, guys. That's really what I want you to take away. And you know, the reason I'm harking on about this sell-off and potential sell-off is I'm going to be away next week in Fiji on holidays. Really bad timing for a trader to be taking it off as the storm comes in. But I want you to be really patient before you start looking to buy into this sell-off, because I know it's going to be a tempting little opportunity in your brain. You're going to think, okay, this has gone far enough. You know, it can go a lot further. Whenever you feel like it's gone far enough, it can go a lot further. That's the one thing I've learned from the market in the last 10 years, that's for sure. Yeah, Euro Yen's just getting ripped apart here. This is where you're getting the Euro sell-off coming from. 111's okay level, but 110.70 is probably better risk reward. Alright guys, good luck with your trades. If I'll hop in every now and again, even when I'm on holidays, just to see how everyone's going, but I won't be streaming over there. I wish everyone the best of luck, and you know, happy, safe trading.